So my CBR650 has gone in for its annual service, and this is what they've lent me for the day. The Honda CB500X. So here it is. It's not a bad looking bike. It's got a LED headlight. This is a 2016 model. Single wavy disc brake up front. 500cc engine. Hideous exhaust. Ridiculous kind of off-road tyres, where I doubt this bike would ever be used off-road. But let's see what she's like going to work. See, that is where petrol stations really take the piss. £5.60 odd in petrol, and then a can of Monster and some wine gums, and it's just under 10 quid. Nearly the cost of the petrol again, just on 2 items. They do take the piss. So it's a 500cc parallel twin, puts out about 46-ish bhp. This is an A2 license friendly bike, so for younger riders with only an A2 license. This thing redlines at 8 3/4, and yeah, it revs pretty well up to about 8,000. I don't know whether or not it's fact or fiction, just my feel, but it feels like the torque power, the kind of pull, drops away after 8,000. Third gear, 23, 24. Yeah, it picks up quite nicely. Yeah, the engine is pretty peppy. Obviously it's not got the sort of power or oomph I'm used to, but yeah, it's not shabby by any means. Feels very a very light bike once you're on the move. Just really shifting my weight around on the back seat, and it's moved about, so, but the front does feel a little bit vague. So yeah, I've got a 6-speed gearbox. So the 50 mile an hour average speed limit on the M3 at the moment. 50 miles an hour up in 6th, just under 4,000 RPM. So it's a very, what I would describe a sit-up and beg riding position. Yeah, a nice, comfy, padded seat. I'm sitting well back on it. Bars are wide and high. So yeah, very upright, but very comfortable. Gives you a really good commanding view of the road ahead, this riding position. And if I sit up and straighten my back, yeah, I can see well over the top of all the cars up ahead of me now. Yeah, very good. Very good view. plenty of leg room. Pegs are low and not very far back. The downside to it though of that is if you're like me and got clodhopper feet, I mean size 10, size 11 feet, and if you sit with the balls of your feet on the pegs as I would on my sports bikes, I find that when I can feel my right heel resting and touching on the exhaust. So I'm having to move my feet just a little bit further forward off the balls just to avoid that. I really don't like these mirrors set up here on the bars. I like mirrors a bit further forward, that it doesn't matter what you're doing with the steering or anything like that, that you kind of get the same view. These obviously connect to the handlebars. I'm not going to steer on here, but no, I don't like these mirrors, and they're these ones which have the 2 bolts, so if you move the arm in any way, shape or form, it kind of loosens the whole thing. It goes all flappy and limp, and then you need a spanner to tighten it up to get it, so your only real adjustment is on there. Having said that, I do have excellent rearward visibility. One of the best rearward visibilities I've known on a bike. I've got it set up and I've got hardly any of my arm or elbows in the mirror. I mean, I've got a slight bit, but just in this section here, the rest of it is fine. And again, on here, it's about this bit here that I can see my arm, and the rest of it is great. So the suspension is very, very soft and very bouncy actually. Doesn't handle bumps particularly well. You kind of feel like you're a jackrabbit bouncing along with it, but it's designed for comfort, and cruising along, it'll soak stuff up without any problems, but I don't think you could push this too far, well, particularly not with these kind of off-roadish tyres as well. What's it like in terms of build quality? Yeah, it's not bad actually. Honda are renowned for build quality. I'm pretty sure that this is built out in the Far East somewhere, not in Japan. And you can see that it's been built to a budget in certain aspects. I mean, it's very similar in build quality to my CBR650. Well, the same issues with the really loose, dodgy rear number plate light. But the quality of the switchgear is nice. But there's still this Honda confusion with the horn and the indicators. This is the same setup as the my 650. Indicators right at the bottom, horn just up. But my Fireblade is the other way around. So the indicator's there and the horn's down at the bottom. Now I don't know which one is arse about face. I have a feeling that the more natural thing across most bikes is horn right down at the bottom, like the Fireblade. So why, Mr. Honda, piss around with something that people are used to and works? I do like the display, the dash here on the bike. I think it looks a bit more classy and more up to date than my 650. That that single display is more modern. Yeah, rev counter up, easy to read the speed. Got the mileage, clock, fuel gauge on it. I don't know whether this kind of orangey colour is natural, or whether it's because this is a demo bike and it's only got, what, 550 miles on it, so it's pretty new. Whether they haven't peeled off the protective film like you get over LCD displays. I'm not going to try and interfere with it. But yeah, looks good. Yeah, nice job. I wouldn't mind that display actually on the 650. Right, so we're coming on to the past the roadworks of the M3 and onto the unlimited bit. We're at 50 miles an hour in 6th gear. Give us some space and let's see what the roll-on's like. So here we are, full throttle, 60, 70, 80, there, almost. Here we are at 74 miles an hour, about 5,500 RPM. And the one thing I'm really noticing is the wind buffeting. This screen is crap. What it is doing is it's pushing all the air straight up into my helmet, which I hate. I either want the air being pushed up over the top of my helmet or into my chest. Now, it could be to do with the way the screen is and my height. I'm about 6'1". If I duck down a little bit, oh yeah, if I duck down, wow, do you notice the difference there? How much better that is? Where if I just sit up to my normal thing, oh, let's see if I straighten up my back. Yeah, if I straighten up my back, sit really upright, kind of pushing it onto my shoulders and neck now. Well, that's not very comfortable. That's not very comfortable. That's my comfortable riding position on this bike. Slap bang into the helmet. So yeah, that would have to change. You're going to have to try and sit back a little further on the seat and crouch down a little bit, because that is just driving me up the wall. Apart from that, the protection is pretty good. I mean, it's not a fully fared bike or anything, but I'm not getting on my legs or my knees. I feel reasonably protected from that. Sitting very comfortably at motorway speeds. And I hope the throttle it does accelerate quite nicely. But it starts to get a little bit interesting at 90 plus. It'll do it, but it doesn't feel nice doing it. No, it's happier at 70, 80. This is the first time that I've ridden a parallel twin. Ridden V-twins, but not a parallel twin. It's a nice little engine. You don't have to rev the nuts off it. It pulls nicely from low revs. The torque comes in low down. Just accelerate and short shift up. It's lovely, particularly for around town. urban driving. So I'm in third gear here, I think. So, yeah, third gear, 30 miles an hour. Picks up beautifully. Really nice. Yeah, that's right. Look, there you go. On your phone. This 500cc twin is perfect for town riding, nipping about. Got enough oomph to get you going and keep up with traffic. Pretty nice actually, and you don't have to madly stir the gearbox to make decent progress either. And the quoted MPG for this bike is about 80 miles per gallon. Makes it ideal for commuting. In fact, now we're into town and urban riding, this bike makes a lot of sense. Easy tractable engine, quite a nimble bike. High commanding riding position. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Right, let's see what she's like for a bit of filtering. She feels quite wide. Mirrors are high enough not to catch cars, but kind of at the height of people carriers and transit vans. So private hire minicabs never ever give you any room as are most cyclists. Look at him drifting out now. So ideally, it could do with the bars and the mirrors being a little bit narrower. As I said earlier about the mirrors and the stalks and everything, you can't just fold them in, which is a pain. But it's nice and nimble through the traffic. I think you can actually fit through gaps that are a little tighter than you think. I'm being especially careful because I'm new to this bike and it's not mine. Here's a good example. Go through. Actually, just about there. Mirrors are high enough, just got to watch out for your bars and levers, because they are almost at car mirror height. We'll talk a little bit about the brakes. So it's single disc up front, about 300-320mm size, and a single disc at the rear, 200-ish, somewhere, whatever, kind of the standard size front and rear brakes on most bikes. Now, yeah, there. They've got ABS, and the front particularly has got feels very progressive. Very progressive. It's not It's not snatchy, it's not on or off. Here we go. Front brake. Yeah, they're up to the job for this power and weight of bike. I mean, they obviously lack a bit of ultimate stopping power you find on some others. And the rear, look, that's just rear braking. Actually, that's pretty good. And the ABS didn't kick in there, and I think the ABS would have kicked in on the 650, probably because there's not as much outright stopping power on this. But no, the brake's fine for the bike and the sort of riding you're going to do on it. I mean, you're not going to be barreling along the road trying to haul yourself down from big speeds to make a apex of a corner, are you, on this? In fact, the rear is really nice because there's quite a bit of pedal travel, but it's got a lovely feel to it. So for low speed manoeuvring, it's absolutely ideal. Clutch is very light too. There is one downside to this really high commanding riding position, and that's the centre of gravity of this bike is quite high, much higher than I'm used to, and it's taking me a bit of getting used to at slow speed and manoeuvring and filtering to have that thing of balance when you get down to that sort of walking pace speed. Just keeping my balance is I'm not finding as easy as I would on my bike, but that could just be down to what I'm used to. I'm sure you would get used to it. Wow, it's got a great steering lock on it. So all in all, what do I think of this bike? Well, it's not a great bike, but it's not a bad bike either. It's what Honda have often been accused for. I mean, it's bland, if I'm perfectly honest, but capable, and does what it's asked. I think that's probably a fair reflection. And I don't think it excels in any one particular area. I think you could probably find a bike better for particular things. For example, if you wanted a bike for commuting, you could probably find a better commuting bike. If you want a bike for thrashing, well, you definitely can find a better bike. But actually, this is quite a comfortable, easy bike. Doesn't do anything really badly, but it doesn't do anything brilliantly. Think what the price of these are. I think they're about 5k to buy brand new. I think the thing is, the more I've ridden this, and the more I've ridden it with London traffic, real urban, the more sense this bike makes. If you were someone who this was your only bike in the garage, I think you'd be a bit bored. Yeah, you could take it out for a ride and a thrash on a weekend, and you probably would have fun on it. You just wouldn't have as much fun. But if I woke up every morning and had to ride this bike just for commuting, in all weathers, he says, as it starts to rain. Do you know what? I wouldn't be upset, but I would want something in the garage for those sunnier days, for the weekends, because I just think it is a bit dull. But as a workhorse, yeah, it does 80 miles to the gallon. It's really comfortable. Yeah, commuting into central London every day would not be a chore on this. So as a fun, touch your soul sort of bike, massive fail. But then, I don't think it was designed that way. As a practical, easy to ride, comfortable, everyday workhorse, hit. Whoa, I know when earlier I said that this is a great commuting bike in all weathers and such like. Yeah, except for when it's really bloody windy.